Good morning, my friends. Pastor Todd here. Happy Thursday morning to you. It's a beautiful day out there today. Hope you enjoy it. Let's see here. Before I get started this morning, I wanted to just ask you and remind you to please keep the country of Afghanistan in your prayers. There's a lot of chaos going on around there, as you know, and as they try to make heavy decisions about evacuating people and whatnot. One of my prayers is that those Taliban guys, they're going to wake up and see Jesus standing right there in the middle of them. And Jesus is going to be saying, "What are you all doing? What are you all doing?" And I just pray that there will be a mighty work of God in that area. And Lord, and I also want to keep in prayer our friends in Haiti. They've been devastated by an earthquake. Thousands of lives have been lost, and so I just pray for their recovery, and I pray for those who are helping them. I think about people like Samaritan's Purse and all these other people that are over there helping to get this straightened out. An earthquake is a very devastating thing, especially in a country like Haiti. So let's just keep them in our prayers. I know we have a lot of things to pray about. COVID, all this it's trying to make a comeback. So let's just keep our prayers centered on those in need this week. My devotion today, I was reading a little story in the book of Genesis, and it was about a time when Jacob wanted to marry Rebecca, and he was, or not Rebecca. I'm sorry, it was Rachel. Get my names mixed up here. Jacob wanted to marry a lady by the name of Rachel, and so he was with the family there. Laban was their father. He had two daughters. One's name was Leah, and she was the older daughter, and then Rachel was the younger daughter, and that's the one that Jacob was in love with, and he wanted to marry her, and I need to keep my train of thought here. He wanted to marry her, and so what he offered to do for this was to work for Laban for 7 years in order to have Rachel's hand in marriage. Now, back in those days, it was a tradition or it was customary to give the older daughter away in marriage first, and in this case, Leah was the older daughter. But the 7 years came to an end, and Jacob said to Laban, "Hey, I've done my 7 years of labor to you. Now let's make good on this promise." So Laban, he orders a big wedding feast, and then that night, when he sent Leah in. He sent the older daughter in to sleep with him, and so he kind of tricked him. And the next day, Jacob's like, "What'd you do to me? Why did you do that? And so he ended up having to marry Leah, and then he said, "Okay, I still want Rachel too. So I'm willing to do another 7 years of labor for you, to have Rachel." And so he did. And at the end of that 7 years, it was time, and he received Rachel also as his bride. And I think about this story, and I think about how Jacob was willing to do whatever it took to get Rachel as his bride. And I just think that is such a testament of love towards someone, to just be willing. He gave 14 years of labor for her, and so that was just an awesome. It was an awesome display of love and courage for him. Now, some scholars write that Jacob was deceived for a reason. Is because he was also a deceiver. If you remember the way that he handled his situation with Esau when he was trying to receive the blessing from his dying father. So he also became deceived. The deceiver became deceived. But he was willing to do whatever it took to be with Rachel. And I think about our relationship with Jesus, and I think about him coming to this world as a person and dying on the cross for our sins and being resurrected. Jesus was willing to do whatever it took to have a relationship with us. He was willing to do whatever it took to bring us to Him. And so, when I relate those two stories together, being willing to do whatever it takes, and I have a question for you today. Are you willing to do whatever it takes for your relationship with Jesus? Are you willing to lay down your life? Are you willing to lay down all your vices? Are you willing to sacrifice your time with Him for Him? There's so many different things that we could lay down. And are you willing to do whatever it takes? Well, Jesus was willing to do whatever it took for you, just as Jacob was willing to do whatever it took for Rachel. So think about that today. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? I hope so. Well, guys, I hope you have a great week. We will see you on Sunday. Let's keep all of our friends across the world in our prayers. Missionaries everywhere, they really need our prayers, so don't stop praying for them. All right? Have a great day. I love you, and we'll see you on Sunday.